firearms permits in protest after a colleague was charged with the murder of Chris Cubber in South London last year.
Now, this protest comes as their boss, Sir Mark Rowley, calls for more legal protection for armed police. Let's speak to a former armed response officer, Harry Tangye, because he says he would join the protest of 100 officers. And former Chief Superintendent Dal Babu says drafting in the army is an unprecedented step. So, Harry Tangye, let's speak to you first. Why would you down your gun?
Good morning, Susanna. Yeah, I think the time has come, and I think a better word than protest is this reflection, really, because police officers are not protesting. They're actually thinking to themselves, do you know what, I don't feel supported anymore, I don't feel safe. I'm going to work to do a job that I've been trained to do, that the public want me to do, to face, from years and years in the past to the current time, some of the most violent people, to protect us. And then suddenly they're being treated immediately as suspects instead of witnesses. And yes, investigations should be thorough and should be detailed as they are. But in the past, police officers have really been treated as second-class citizens. There's been very little care for them on this matter, because the whole priority, of course, is to have, there's quite rightly an angry and frustrated group of people that have been directly involved, and they tend to get listened to. And it's important that's the case. But often the police are completely ignored, feel disillusioned and treated as second-class citizens. They just want it to be fair, and
But surely you'd accept.
I'm sorry?
I mean, we're setting aside this particular case, which we simply can't talk about at all, but in a general sense. I mean, police officers carrying guns, they're human, they can make mistakes, they can get it wrong. Surely they should be subject to the full rigour of the law if they do get it wrong, or at least that the case should be tested in a trial.
Absolutely, you're quite right. But why are you treating a police officer who is trained to do what they do, who in the tiniest of percentages for the amount of deployments that they have in this country, we are very, very fortunate how professional and restrained they are. When there is a shooting that is involved, why are we treating them as a member of public who's gone down the street with a gun and then shot his neighbour? Why are we doing that? They're witnesses. They're witnesses, and they should be treated like professional witnesses. They should be a full investigation. No one's disputing that. But it's not a protest. They genuinely, would you go to work now knowing that, well, if I have to do the ultimate, God forbid, and not only that, you're going to get your colleagues and you maybe thinking for a fraction of a second later, too late. Someone has been shot because you were worried, or your colleague was worried, that you could be remanded in prison for murder. That is a shift in society, in CPS, in the IOPC, that have very little respect. There's nothing independent the police feel that there is about them. And I think the record shows for themselves.
You had a gun.
Too much politics.
You had a gun pulled on you, didn't you, when you were a serving officer? You were armed only with a truncheon. A criminal pointed a gun at your head and pulled the trigger.
Yeah, no, I did. I had, when I was a firearms officer, I took the stack up on my trigger twice. And I didn't think about the 6 weeks inquest and the months and years of a highly trained barristers looking at me. You do think professionally and you do your job, because you know that the rules are simple. If you or somebody else is at imminent danger of being shot dead, then you have to react. And remember, weapons aren't just guns. More people are killed in this country with cars than guns. Okay. So anything could be used as a weapon, a baseball bat, a paving slab, anything. So these officers are trained very clearly, not just to shoot, they're trained very much in how to deal with mental health, autistic people. Are they overreacting, underreacting? Huge amount of training. So we need to support these officers whilst having a full investigation this time, for transparency and fairness.
Okay, Dal Babu, I think it was your situation, wasn't it, where